right. It is the morning show right here on Facebook, Periscope TV, YouTube Live, LinkedIn, and anywhere you can find us. We appreciate each and every one of you on today's show. We got lots to discuss, including a little bit later. Super excited about this. Mariachis, it is the 2020 festival. And this is a really great event. I can tell you right now, usually pre-coronavirus, I would take my mom, taking other friends as well. And it's always, you know what, they never disappoint. Except, of course, this year, everything has to be done virtually, right? How do you go and visit in person? Well, technically you could, outside, I guess. But they're going to take it another step forward. And you know what? I appreciate them for this. You can get your tickets right there at stellartickets.com. We're going to be joined a little bit later on by my very good friend. She's an amazing mariachi just organizer and pretty good performer as well. And if you have not participated in any of these events in the past, trust me, no matter where you're tuning in from, you're going to want to do so. The ladies are just so profoundly amazing, seriously. And if you don't even get exposed to mariachis, I'm telling you, after this, you're going to want to be. Okay, so there you go. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more right after this. Stay tuned. All right, we're on a commercial break. Let's see here. We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there just kicking it up in the wings. Hold on, I got to adjust your video here. You got smaller. And Jesse, what's going on in your life over there?
Not much, just finding new things to watch on Hulu, trying to keep myself entertained. Messing with you, trying to pretend I'm Hannibal Lecter. You know, it's all good.
You know, go for it. You know, this is audition for the next Hannibal Lecter. Take one, Jesse. Hold on, let me get your full video so that people can appreciate this about you. Jesse and I have a lot of fun behind the scenes, but sometimes I'm okay. Jesse, here you go. Take one.
Oh, the only thing I did with Aaron was like, "Hello, Aaron." From that one scene. I can't remember the whole scene. I need some, I need lines, people. I can't make stuff up. Or else I'll make Aaron. Wait, dang it. Now I'm forgetting everything. Look what you did.
I'm watching you, Jesse.
Oh, yeah, that's what you did, didn't you?
And I'm thinking, are you alone?
Yeah, that's creepy. I think it was creepier when you actually called the station that one time.
I can be your friend.
Okay, you took it to a dark place. 40 seconds.
Nobody needs to know. I could creep in the middle of your show.
That would be creepy.
Jesse.
He's having too much fun. 20 seconds.
I need hand sanitizer.
I got it right here.
There we go. That's how we mess with each other, people. We're terrible people. We really are. And you know, we're getting in the mood, right? Because of Horror Film Fest is happening pretty soon. I'm pretty sure.
5 seconds.
Pretty sure they have an online platform there, but we'll talk about that and more.
Seconds.
And our next guest has some pretty cool lights. We're going to talk about that. That's right. It is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram TV. We appreciate each and every one of you on today's show. I got a super lineup today. So excited for this. I really am. And we all need some really good news in our own sphere of influence, right? A little bit later on, yes, the Mariachi Women's Festival is going to be joining us just around the corner. So excited about this. I wish they all could be on the morning show. We got to figure that out. I don't know how to make that happen. This kind of came to me last minute. And you can get your tickets right now, stellartickets.com. Joined by the Mariachi Divas, which, man, these ladies just amazing. Mariachi Arena, and a host of others as well from around the world. Now, normally this is an event which is joined in person and is amazing in person in an auditorium in the San Gabriel Valley. I've gone for the last 8 years, I want to say. No, not really. But I think they've been going on for quite some time. I've only been participating for the last 3 years, I want to say. I took my mom. I took some other really good friends as well. And it's always an evening of just, well, if you've never experienced the mariachis, I will say this. When you have it in live and in person, it's amazing because you could feel all of that, right? You could feel the music, the auditorium, the sound, the way it reverberates, all of that, right? It's not as terrific always on a little device, right? But it is going to be live. And of course, not throwing caution to the wind, the Mariachi Women's Festival is going to do it rightly so online. So I say, why not participate, right? Tickets are $20, and this is happening tomorrow. So go get your tickets. The live preview of this, 7:30 to 9 o'clock. And I think they need to record this and then rebroadcast this again and again and again. I think, why can't they? I think they should. So there you go. You could rebroadcast things as though it's live and not ever let the person know it's not live. You can do that. Technically, it's a thing. I've seen people do that with webinars and seminars. I'm like, wait a minute. I think I'm the only one on this seminar. I'm pretty sure. So there you go. We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
So lots of cool stuff in the news, right? People are talking about it, right? Let's agree to disagree on talking about the debates for now. Can we just keep it on a lively note? Because there were some statements that I saw in the. I didn't watch the whole thing. Did you watch the whole thing, Jesse?
No, I decided to watch Borat, so he seemed a little bit more entertaining than the debate. So,
you know what? That's so you got the Mayor Rudy Giuliani special.
Yes, we got that was kind of like the happy ending at the end of the movie.
I don't want to know. I really don't. You know what, people? He's according to Jesse, he simply was tucking his shirt in. Just so you know, this is a PG show, by the way. So be careful out there. But all right, there you go. Switching gears right now is another really good friend, all the way on the opposite side of the United States of America. I'm talking about somebody who knows a lot about everything and then some. He's one that you would want in your house, just not just kicking it up, but actually making things happen, because he could take your regular place and fancify it in a technology wonderland. I'm talking about Joel Prevost over there at Prevost Partners. Welcome back to the show, Joel.
Thanks, Aaron. It's good to be back.
Yeah, look, Joel, I understand. Again, you got some pretty cool devices over there, one of which is getting people in the mood for a certain holiday of sorts. More inside than outside, I don't know. But can you talk to me about what type of technology can kick it up a notch, especially when it comes to the spooky season?
Yeah, Halloween's right around the corner. So one of the things that's actually quite simple to do to kind of up the ante with the haunted house or just with your decorations is just colored lighting. And one of the leading ones on the market is Philips Hue. There's nothing new here that I'm sharing, but it's just a new way to think about it. If you haven't gone this route, their color spectrum is just unbelievable in terms of the different colors you can use. So you could really light up a room with purple or orange or whatever fits the mood in terms of your Halloween spirit and creating an ambiance. They've really evolved their products so that you can actually tie it into music as well, and you can pair things up with music. So something to consider. I'm trying to look for affordable ways for people to kind of bring the spirit to them, or add a little flair to their life. Technology can be outrageously expensive sometimes, and though these are expensive when compared to a regular light bulb, they're not expensive with respect to a technology that can do a lot. And I've got several of them throughout my house. I've never had one burn out, and it's been years. So it's not like they're a short-term investment. They actually do last quite a while, and I have not had any issues with that. And they're a lot of fun.
You know what? I'm glad to hear that, because I do know that they're a pretty penny. But the fact that they don't like blow out quick and fast, and for those that didn't get to see that video, I mean, it's pretty cool, because I guess you can hook it up with your like television device, and you could create the ambiance based on what's on the television screen, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it'll adjust according to what you're watching, and again, like the strips can be like the light strips can be like $60-$70, but the bulbs themselves, like just to replace a light bulb in your house, is probably gonna be around anywhere from 20 to 40. So that's a lot for a light bulb, right? But if you're looking to do something special as a treat, it's capable of doing some really fun things. So it's a gadget, and it can kind of change the mood and add some fun. We're all stuck inside these days a lot. Yeah. So it's a way to kind of dress up the house and do something fun.
Well, now, of course, gift season is all year round, but of course, people are starting to think of it right now. I saw some estimates of where they're saying, go and get your shopping done now. And it might be a little different. I don't know if it's more online or in person, but there's some cool things that can keep your child safe, technically, and or even your own forgetful mind. What are we talking about?
Yeah, again, another product that's been out there quite a while and has evolved, and I'll talk a little bit about why they're getting even better. And that's the little tile trackers. And so they hit the scene as like a don't lose your keys. You can put them on your keychain. They're still very effective for that. But they've added more and more products that have longer range. They last longer. And they have a replaceable battery. Originally, they did not have a replaceable battery, and when they would basically run out of battery at the end of the year, they would replace it for you, but you'd have to buy a new one. So you kind of got into this trap of having to rebuy their product. Right. Now you can replace the battery really inexpensive. It's like a little watch battery. And they have a lot of different products. They have sticker ones that you can stick on things. They have the keychain ones. They have thin ones you can put in wallets. You can tuck one in the backpack. So the important thing for people to realize is it's a Bluetooth tracker. And so if you're within Bluetooth range, you can ring the tile from your phone. So you can, go into the app, say, find my keys, and then the little tracker itself is ringing the sound, and you can hear it pretty well. It carries quite a ways. And then vice versa, you can actually find your phone from the tracker. So if you phone is, but you have your keys in your pocket or a different tile, you just go double tap that, and it'll ring your phone even if it's on silent. So it's actually a really multi-usable tool. Now, if the product is out of range of Bluetooth, like let's say you left it at work and you're home now, it won't be able to ring it, but it will show you its last known location that it was connected to your phone, which is really important. Now, if it moves from there, it bounces off other tiles in the community that other people are carrying around in the world, and will tell you updated locations. So you actually can use it to find things. So that's, again, why you could tuck one in a backpack, that kind of thing, and it would actually serve a purpose there in a safety measure. But in the house today, everyone's packed in. There's more people in the house. Kids are trying to do school. You've got more stuff. It's so frustrating when you're trying to be efficient and you lose things. I have a tracker on just about everything you can imagine, and it has totally saved me time. I have one on my water bottle because I get so annoyed when I leave it downstairs on the couch and then it gets buried by pillows, and then I'm upstairs, like, where's my water bottle? So it's silly, but it's not. It actually is super handy.
Well, that's kind of good, because I mean, sometimes like little devices will show you. So it sounds like it could get very narrowed down of where it is, right? Yeah. So if you're in a house, you could determine what portion of the house it's in.
Yes. So as you get closer to the tile, there's little rings around on the app that get closer and closer and show that you're almost near it.
Like a hot, cold scenario.
Exactly. So if you're way far away and you can't hear it, it'll say it's nearby. You're in the vicinity, and then as you keep roaming around your house, eventually you're going to hear that ringing. You're going, I'm getting closer, and it's totally a hot and cold type thing. And they're really slick. I've been very impressed.
Very
so
cool.
They're a $20 tracker. And then you're buying cheap batteries to replace. So they're a really affordable kind of fun thing to get for people that's going to be useful. I've bought them for my mom and family as a gift. And then if they find them useful, they'll probably get more for themselves. But if they don't, well, you're out $20 and it was a nice gadget. But I think most people find them to be very useful.
It's a smart, you know what? That is a smart gift. And it's good for like, what do they call that? What's the one where you each buy something like under 20, 25? We used to do that as a family and don't do it anymore. But anyway, all right, cool. Let's switch gears. There are some cool devices to power up your device. Mophie.
Yeah, Mophie has a really, really nice wireless charger for the newer iPhones and Samsung. It'll work for either one. And it's really slick. I want to kind of remind people about how these chargers work. They're really handy for like the bedside or somewhere where you're going to leave your charger and then go about your day or go to bed or whatever, because keep in mind, if you want to talk on the phone or use the phone while it's charging, a wireless charger like this doesn't work very well because it's stationary and it's stuck there. You don't have a cord to work with. So it's really kind of more of a long-term charger in that regard. Or if you're going to set it up and play music and just be doing something else. But it frees up your other corded charger to be somewhere else where you might need to use it while it's plugged in. It's really slick. It's like I said, it works for multiple devices, so that's really nice. And it's a little more expensive. It's about $70, but that's the cost of replacing a charger for most of these phones if you're buying from the manufacturer themselves. And it's a nice propped up thing where you can use it as an alarm clock or whatever you're using, so you can see the face and it's not laying flat like most wired chargers.
Yeah, I do like that because sometimes that's the problem I have. And speak to me about these, which kind of goes in tandem. Smart, like I don't even know how to explain it, but like plugs.
Yeah, the smart plugs. So again, most anyone who has a smart home knows about this, but if you don't, the smart outlet is there's a lot of different options out there, and depending what platform you're looking to use, it's important to kind of pay attention to that. A couple that I recommend that are more versatile are the Amazon product as well as the iHome. And now iHome is not Apple, but they've long been making products with the iHome brand that definitely was playing off of the whole iPhone brand a little bit. And amazingly, now they actually are compatible. Most of their products are compatible with the Apple HomeKit for their platform. So if you have an Apple TV or even an iPad can serve as a hub for an Apple HomeKit, and you want to do a smart home, you can just get a plug. It plugs into the wall, and then that becomes the smart device, that little plug you put in. So anything you put in there, now you can control it with your phone or by voice with your smart speaker. So it's really handy. We have some, for example, in the office where we can say, to Alexa, turn off office outlet, and that turns off the little heater that's under my wife's desk that she puts her feet on to keep her feet warm, and she doesn't want to leave that on. Now, we also have it set to time, so if she were to leave after an extended amount of time, it goes off on its own. But just multiple ways to automate things, and it just is a nice gift if somebody's curious or that they have the start of things to just add to their home. It's something you're going to use if you're building into that network. You can always use another outlet to say, oh, you know what, we'll put this one in where I plug in the curling iron or what have you.
Right.
It's a nice, versatile tool.
Well, and I love tools that keep you safe either at night and or day, or just things you just don't ever need to think about. And I understand there are some really good ones to be able to keep the whole family safe. Like we said, and we're entering a time where unfortunately fires can start in the house. Of course, people are starting to think, I don't know how soon people are going to get their trees into their house. I would imagine sooner than later, just to have some fun ahead of time. But I know in past years, as soon as like Halloween stopped, it was like, boom, let's put up the tree.
Yeah, it seems like some people jump on that pretty quickly. And yeah, safety in the home, what's more important than that? A smart smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector is something I highly recommend to people, as there are some really nice ones on the market. I have the Nest product in my house. There's also the First Alert One Link is another really good one. The Nest one's $119. The First Alert one is like $180. And the way these work, just like any other smoke detector or carbon monoxide detector, it's going to alarm in the house, obviously, to tell you there's a problem. But it also alerts your phone. And that's really handy, because if you are outside the home and you don't realize this is happening, you're going to get an alert right away, so that you can, call for help. You can, go try to work out the situation, make sure everyone's out of the home, make sure it's a safe situation. It's really remarkable too. You get a little report. So, I have a fireplace in the house, and once in a while, if I don't get the fire started perfectly and a little smoke starts getting out into the home because there's a little downdraft, the smoke alarm will go off just like any other smoke alarm. But this one will give you a warning, and she'll say, she has its voice, and it says, smoke detected. The alarm is going to go off. We kind of joke about it, that she's like the most polite smoke alarm in the world, but it's detecting it much sooner than any I've ever had. And she says that to say, if this is a false alarm, you just burn the toast, you can actually open your phone and silence it.
Oh,
so
I like that.
So you don't have to deal with the waving of the to get the sound to go off. You're still going to clear your house, but that false alarm, you can actually control it if you're there, which is kind of slick. Especially think of people who have a baby sleeping, and you're thinking, no, I just burned the toast.
No, I did that with the toaster oven, and I burnt my French bread pizza, and I was like, oh man, it was like, I'm like, and then what I do, because sometimes it's not fast enough, just take out the batteries, and then I forget to put them back in. That's a terrible situation to find yourself in. You understand?
Exactly. And think about, people watching out for their loved ones. All these things have a place for, if you have a senior in your life and you want to make sure that they don't leave the iron plugged in, you get them a smart plug, and you can monitor that from anywhere. If you're worried about their smoke detector batteries, you can monitor that. You're going to get an alert on your phone that says the battery's getting low. So a lot of these devices have applications elsewhere. If you are trying to help someone else in your life, it's a great gift, and it can be a gift that really promotes safety for the people you care about.
Well, again, Joel, we've run out of time yet again, and yet I still want more. For those that do want more of what you got to offer over there, lots of cool tech devices. I'm sure coming up around the corner, there's going to be some pretty cool ones as well. How can people find you, and how can they tweet you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. It's just Joel Prevo, and you can use the hashtag Tech Talk with Joel if you want, and I'd be happy to keep the conversation going and answer any questions for anybody.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much, Joel. Give my love to the entire family over there. Keep safe, okay?
Thank you. You too.
All right. Joel Prevo, everybody. Smart man, amazing man as well, and knows what he's talking about. I'm telling you. He's the co-founder of Prevo Partners, which is a Minneapolis-based consulting company that helps businesses identify tech solutions that fit their business strategy. So he's got more than 100 different devices. I think he's with those little tile. I think we need to enter him into the Guinness Book of World Records for most devices owned. Okay, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, it's all about mariachis. It's the new online festival. Yes, I know. We got to get used to the way it was, and is going to be for quite some time. We'll talk about that next here on The Morning Show. Stay tuned. All right, Jesse, is our next guest ready to go? She's probably been waiting for quite some time.
Yes, she's ready to go.
All right, cool. It's okay, because I got time to share and share abroad. All right, let's see here. Can you get on the phone? Just let her know. Ask her if she's good for the next 8 or 10 minutes. I don't want to, I don't know if she has another.
Let me get her.
Thank you. And for those of you just joining us, super excited about this. Dr. Leonor Perez is going to be joining us here in just a minute. And she is pretty amazing in her own right. Let me just bring up, let's see, not that one. I'm going to wait to bring that up. Actually, let me bring up her picture here. There she is.
All ready to go. Yep, she says she can do that.
All right, cool. Thank you, by the way.
Hmm.
But if I could describe her in one word, I would say the word would be fantabulous. It's a combination of words that don't exist yet, but I think we can add that to the dictionary. What do you think, Jesse? Should we add that to the dictionary? I think.
I was about to say, is that a word?
It needs to be fantabulous because it's it's the next step above fantastic and quite fabulous, right? Fantabulous. There you go. There's the definition created by Jesse and Aaron.
I like it.
I'm pretty sure I've heard it before. But I think we need credit for some of these words. There's a whole dictionary called the Urban Dictionary, by the way.
Yes.
I sometimes have to find myself going there, Jesse, because there's certain words I'm like, wait, what?
30 seconds. Yes, I go there when I hear a word and I don't quite understand what it means.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those things. Let's go to social media chat room. You guys are gonna love this next guest. Seriously, if you haven't participated in past years with this, you're gonna love it. Trust me.
10 seconds.
Diana, thank you. Katya, thank you. Penelope, thank you. Stephanie, thank you. Rosalie, thank you. Paul, thank you for tuning in. Thank you all.
2 seconds.
All right, cool. That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Live, Twitter's very own Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live. Don't forget to get us on your latest Alexa app. Just type it in. Oh, that's right. You don't have to type in Alexa, but you can say, Alexa, I'd like to listen to KMET 1490 AM, and it will pop on for you on all your devices. How cool is that? Joining us right now, all the way from the Mariachi Women's Festival. Yes, this is an amazing festival done each and every year, and they just never disappoint. They never do. Joining us right now is my very good friend and amazing talent over there, one of which I could imagine was not so happy with the whole coronavirus situation, going, wait, what? We can't have our amazing people in person? What's wrong with people? Why can't you just wear a face mask? Joining us right now is Dr. Leonor Perez. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. Being safe, then sorry. But I understand you guys are doing the same thing, and you're doing a virtual event happening right around the corner. Although I think you should rebroadcast this again and again and again for those that miss it in the very beginning. But let's talk about this. Obviously, pre-coronavirus, you probably were planning for this year as you do every year. How long does it usually take to plan this event?
Oh, it takes several months. I would say at least 6 months, because we have to book a venue, we have to find talent, we have to bring them, arrange for them to come. This year, our festival was scheduled for March 28th, and it was, believe it or not, focusing on mariachi musicians in Japan.
Wow.
So we have people coming from Tokyo, mariachi women, believe it or not. We're going to come and help us celebrate during International Women's Month. And unfortunately, Governor Newsom gave his order on March 13th, and our festival was scheduled for the 28th, that we should all stay at home. So we were shocked by that. But as they say, we've had to pivot and learn how to do this in a different context, in a different mode now. So the women are doing it, we're doing it, and we're so excited that we'll be able to present our festival now with the theme of Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, on Saturday, October 24th at 7:30.
Well, and I'm bringing up the flyer right now for our audience right here. But for those that are tuning in on the radio, where can they go to get their tickets?
Yes, they can go to Stellar, STELLAR, tickets.com.
Fantastic. And it's going to be live from what time to what time?
7:30 to 9 p.m.
And that's Pacific Standard Time, by the way, people, because we have our international audience, obviously. So you got to check your own local listings for that. But I gotta imagine this kind of opens up a bit of a world that probably previously didn't happen, which means, it's not just because, look, I'm the first one to admit, I love seeing this in person. There is nothing like the live in-person experience of the Civic Auditorium at the San Gabriel Valley, which I've I love the before, I love the after, I love the food you usually bring in. That was last year, and last year was you never disappoint. But fast forward, I feel like this kind of lets a lot more people in to experience this for the very first time. Some, which maybe in certain parts of the world have never actually experienced this entirely. What do you think about that?
You're absolutely right. About a month and a half ago, I had an event in which I focused on the history of women in mariachi. It was free. It was a Zoom event. I opened it up, and there were 3.8 thousand people interested in the event, and 653 people signed up.
Wow.
Represented, yeah, I did a quick survey. I sent them a quick survey. They had, of course, to sign up. They had to register. So I asked them, what state are you from? I had 11 different states represented, even states like Arkansas, New Jersey. People were interested from all over the place. And then I had 3 countries represented, the U.S., of course, Mexico, and Spain. So this festival for Saturday, you're absolutely right. It's a different way of sharing our traditions and celebrating, our culture. However, it's also an opportunity to see who else can engage with us. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you got like the social element of it, right? Is there any social ability to tie into those that are watching as well by chance?
And this one is just going to be a stream that we're going to do, but we're doing right before the festival on Zoom. We're asking people to register, and we're going to have what's called a pre-concert toast. We're going to talk to the artists who are performing, and we're going to have a good time right before we actually go online and share our festival this year.
I love it. I look. Let's talk about the ladies of this festival. You're bringing in some pretty heavy hitters, as you do each and every year. Can you talk to me about? I think you have 3 different ensembles going on, or is there more?
Yeah, I do. I do have 3 different ensembles. Many presenters are giving clips or small 1-minute presentations or 3-minute presentations of many groups. And I decided to change that and really focus on, 3 groups who can perform almost a full set, which you would see when you would go live to a performance. So it's really exciting to be in that format again. So, it's interesting because this is a challenging year, but I have the best groups I've ever had perform now. And those groups are Mariachi Reina de Los Angeles, which is the first show group, all-female show group in the nation, started in 1994 by Jose Hernandez, who's the director of the famous Sol de Mexico. So he's trained these women well, not only because he's an excellent musician, but he comes from a family of 5 generations of the mariachi musicians. So he knows the genre very well. So they will be performing Mariachi Divas de Cindy Shea. They have 16 albums, 11 Grammy nominations, and they've won 2 Grammys. So they're excellent. And then it is an international festival. So we have a little surprise coming in from London, England, Mariachi Las Adelitas, UK. Believe it or not, women are playing mariachi even in Europe. So it's going to be a wonderful, full show. People will not be disappointed. And, I think we're all adjusting to a different format. So yeah. I think we're going to enjoy this.
Well, and I love the ability, I've said this before. I think, get the live one done, but make sure it's all recorded so you can always rebroadcast it again and again and again to people down the line. I mean, I know we're focusing on only this one. We really are. But I'm just saying, it's a good thing to have, because I think we all need a little bit of inspiration, a little bit more fun, and honestly a lot more love in our world. And what I mean by that is some of the stories that I remember you would, in between certain sets, you would bring up not just the love of music, but some of these stories that actually where they went from like maybe just kind of going throughout life, and then all of a sudden they kind of found a purpose and a family with what I call the music family of the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, music is very healing. Music sometimes is the glue that holds people together. In mariachi music, I've had many letters from young people or older people who say, your event is one of the few opportunities that I have to share a social, emotional event with my mother, my grandmother. It really brings families together. And in this really tough time where people are suffering and they're seeing people, unfortunately, pass around them or get sick and recover with a lot of uncertainty, music is one of the most healing avenues that we have. And unfortunately, a lot of our cultural events that we used to go to just relax and enjoy are no longer there. So this is an excellent opportunity to try it in a different mode. And hopefully we will transmit, like, as you said, not only the culture and the tradition, but the love that comes with it and the opportunities, that we can have to reconnect with what we love, what we share with other people. So I agree with you on that one.
Well, and I remember last year, I believe it was last year, might have been the year prior, there were a couple of individuals which I would have never thought of, and excuse me for my limited train of thinking, which I think a lot of us kind of stick in our own little bubble. When you think mariachi, you literally think from Mexico. But you just mentioned a couple countries. Can you talk about a couple of the people that in past years and or present that have, they're not even technically, like, I'm sure they have like a little gene in there, probably a splice of it, but they don't really need it in order to understand that the world of mariachi is not just a Latino affair.
Yes, absolutely. It's interesting because mariachi music is very universal in lots of ways. We recognize it as a music of Mexico, but the truth is, when you listen to the music that mariachis play, they play music from all over the world. They play polkas, which are from Germany.
Yeah.
They play ballads. There's so many different styles. And in the U.S., many mariachi musicians are somewhat fusing their American identity with their capacity to play Mexican music, and they start to play R&B. In fact, London has a tune that they just wrote that has somewhat of a jazzy style to it. It's called, it's a cumbia. It's called Cumbia Las Adelitas, but it has a little bit of jazz fusion in it, which you wouldn't expect. So it's so interesting that it does have a universal appeal. It also has a way of exciting you physically. It makes your heart beat. It makes your heart melt. You just feel so excited when you hear it that it attracts people who don't understand the lyrics or didn't grow up with the genre. And one person is, I have to say, is the director of Mariachi Divas, Cindy Shea. So she's half Italian, half Irish. She grew up in LA County and was somewhat exposed to this music, but just loved it before she could even understand what it was all about. So she went out and got this amazing musical training, and then once got the opportunity to perform with a group. And she fell in love with it so much that she started her own group, and now is one of our leading groups. So she's, Italian. The group from London, they're international. They're from all over the place. They have some, Latinos in there. They have Cubans, Colombians, but the director, she's half Italian and half Hungarian, actually. So, and she learned Spanish. The way she was inspired, she went on one of those student exchange trips in high school, and she went to Colombia and was exposed to mariachi music there and just fell in love, and now it's the focus of her life. So, yes, it does draw people from all over the world. And like I said, I found mariachi women playing in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
There is full mariachi in Japan.
They speak full Japanese. That I'm like, wait, how do they put me on shame? I mean, I speak more English than I do Spanish. Everybody that knows me knows that, and I'm like, wow, they learned like how to like and oftentimes speak better than I've heard it from other people.
I agree. They're so good at it, and it does put some of us to shame. I was born in Los Angeles, and I still struggle even if I perform. But I have to say something. We got to let go of the shame because it is our tradition and it is our culture. And, when I had this little talk a month and a half ago, as I said, some of the people who joined were people who were trying to reconnect with their culture. So at the end, they were just very emotional because, we were very inclusive of everybody. We're not here to judge. We're here to bring you in, So I think people should give it a chance, try it, and in this case, it's a unique festival because it's not only about mariachi, which is a male tradition, but it's mariachi women. And we have our way, of doing it. It's international, so we're going to engage people from other places in the world. And, to tell you the truth, I was thinking, if and when we go live again, I'm probably going to continue to stream.
I hope you do.
Another layer, so live and stream.
Look, if you need help with that, I'm more than willing to help you out with that. I've been live streaming for the last since it ever came out, about 15 years, okay? And I often get called to consult on getting that out there, and I always thought, why does she not do that? But then I thought, well, it makes sense. It's more difficult to create a whole camera crew and do all of that, but there are ways to get your word out even broader. But I think right now we need to focus on tomorrow's event. And again, for those just tuning in, we're talking about Las Catrinas Cantan, which in English, what does that mean?
The Catrinas are female skeletons who are iconic images that emerge when we celebrate Day of the Dead. They're called Catrinas. And cantas means to sing. So our International Mariachi Women's Festival tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. is going to have a theme of Day of the Dead. So we're basically saying the female, skeletons are singing. We're celebrating our tradition.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I know you and your family members will as well. Go get your tickets, stellartickets.com. You can get the information, get your tickets. Tickets are only $20. And hey, have those that stay safe anyway, all together, and or create a viewing party before and or after. It definitely is something that you can definitely participate in. If you have a long lost love and you perhaps are like, honey, how come we can't see each other? Oh, because you're isolated and I'm isolated in maybe a different country. I don't know. There's a lot of people kicking up the romance. I'm just saying, this is kind of a good date night on a Saturday night, right?
Absolutely. But I want to address quickly one of the questions you said I thought of, why doesn't she stream? Well, in the past, I've done this festival on my own, and I'm very happy to say that we now have the Mariachi Women's Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that's meant to empower mariachi women and girls throughout the world. And I now have a whole group of people to help support. So in the past, honestly, it was just the fact that there's only so much of me to go around, and I couldn't do it all. But now I have an entire nonprofit organization to support this work. Well, so let's move forward. And I'm happy for you that you've been doing this for so long. It's like a no-brainer for you.
It really is. And you and I, we'll meet another time, and I'll give you some thoughts and theories that I think can really take it to the nth degree. And then who knows, you could probably do it every other month, because I think we need some of this. It's frustrating. It really is. Yeah.
That's great.
All right.
So, join us tomorrow at the International Mariachi Women's Festival virtual concert focusing on Day of the Dead, a beautiful Mexican celebration. Saturday, October 24th. That's tomorrow at 7:30. StellarTickets.com.
Done, and doubly done. Okay, that's not a word, but and you're fantabulous, by the way. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Okay, we're gonna add that next to your biography. The fantabulous Dr. Leonor Perez. Thank you for spending time with us here on the morning show.
Thank you. Good to talk to you again. Take care.
Likewise. But all the best wishes. All right, people, we got to take a quick break. Go get your tickets, StellarTickets.com. I put the link on the social media platform right there. Just go get your tickets. You won't be disappointed. Trust me on this. And it supports a great cause. It really does. These ladies, I'm telling you right now, if you enjoy, look, I think somebody said it in social media. We'll bring up some of the comments next here on the morning show. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, for those of you tuning in, it is the morning show. Go get your tickets, or I'm leaving that up there for you guys to get it, because I always get people going, how do I get it again? And I'm like, it's right there. StellarTickets.com. Go get your information right there. Go look up, or if you want to just click on the link that I posted there, you can go directly to the site right there. And while that's up, I'm going to leave that up just for a minute. I've got Alejandro Patino over there. who says this: "Love me some female mariachi," and I'm telling you, they're just Jesse. Have you ever participated in any one of these events ever?
I have never participated, but I do love me some mariachi.
Yeah, and it's just I never knew it was a male dominated thing because I think I just didn't. I don't know. I'm very unaware of.
I've never seen female mariachis. I mean, I've seen a couple, but the vast majority of them are all dudes.
Yeah, and nothing against the dudes. They're pretty freaking amazing as well. But I want to see some more inclusivity, you know, because these ladies rock it, man.
Yeah, they do.
And they really do. They really do.
You can just like feel the energy when they play. Love it.
Rosalie says, I sing better in Spanish than I do English, and I can't speak Spanish. All right. Okay. So there you go. There's the tickets. Go get them. Participate. It's worth it. It really is. I'm not going to lie. I love the full experience of going in person and experiencing it. You know, one time we took somebody last minute. We were like, oh, we're running late. Do you want to come with us? And then we had like a forever friend. But it was cool because you got to meet them behind, like before and or after, right? Usually before or in the middle, like they come out with their wardrobe. You're like, oh my God, you're amazing. Let me take a picture with you. We had pictures that I can't even share because that was, it's a whole other story. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to talk about that.
30 seconds.
Some memories are just better. Just keep them where they're at, right? People are probably wondering, why is he so bitter?
It's one of those days. 15 seconds.
All right. Let's see. I'm bringing up Mr. Jesse.
Oh no. 5 seconds.
Jesse, you're a crack up. All right, here we go. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live audience there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn. Glad to have you with us. And if you're just joining us, got to bring this back up really quick for those of you tuning in. Let me get it right. Never mind. The Mariachi Women's Festival. There it is. I just can't do it. But you can. The Mariachi Arena, Mariachi Divas, and special guests as well, all joining each and every one of them. StillerTickets.com. Go get it. You can participate from wherever you're tuning in. Tickets are only $20. And that's actually a small price to pay because typically that's how much it is per person in person. Does that make sense? And so, like, you get one, you got your whole family there. You just save right there, right? And you get to participate in what I think will be a very global event. So there you go. All right, let's go to social media comments. Let's see, Algenia. Let me bring this up. It's a kind of, she types in caps. I apologize, people. She's not shouting. I promise you. She says, Miss Texas Algenia, Cindy Shea, you and the Divas did excellent at the festival. Love when you did the dedication to Selena. Abraham and Lozano are best friends in Dallas, Fort Worth. Love you ladies out in California, Kirkland. If you see the Lozano family, tell them hola. Love the Mariachi Los Trios in Houston and San Antonio. Amor Hermanas Algenia. So look, and the reality is this. It is a pretty cool event. All right, in person. And you know what? If we can't be in person, next best thing, online. Why not? Right? So I recommend it. Get it for your friends, your family, and look. So what are you doing Saturday night? Seriously, and if you got a love in your life, say, hey, you want to tune in? I'll pay for you. Let's participate, and then get on like a Zoom chat together, right? And then do that simultaneously, right? What do you think about that, Jesse? Good idea, great idea, or amazing idea?
Great idea.
I know it's a thing. Long distance relationships are happening right now. People are. They are finding each other online. I heard or recently saw a couple programs that said that actually dating right now is up, contrary to popular belief. I don't know if it's in person though. Because How do you? One, I saw one parody of two, and then I saw one where somebody actually was taking a photo of two people making out with face masks on. I think that kind of
what?
It's a thing. I don't recommend it. Because it kind of defeats the purpose. But I didn't know if it. I didn't know if it was staged or if it was real, or I was just like, I got questions that need answers on this, people. If you kiss the outside of it, you just like, there goes the theory of why you wear a face mask to begin with. But anyway, I don't judge people. If that's your thing, it's your thing. But all right, so there you go. So what did we learn on this show, Jesse? I think we learned that, you got cool tech stuff out there, right? You got cool viewing events that you can participate in, and you can virtually join up with everybody else, right? I'm just saying. I think I should create like a little Zoom party for just the mariachi festival. I don't know. I don't think there's enough time, but there you go. But if you're participating, I appreciate you already. Thank you for your comments and social media. Shout out to Rosalie, says gross. Don't make out with the face mask. It's terrible. Let's see. Eugenia, thank you for tuning in. Elisa over there says very cool festival, and says I'm going to go check it out right now. Good. That's the idea. Go check it out. That's what we want. We want people checking it out. Eugenia says mariachi are divas. I love them. I love the mariachi divas though. They're amazing. They really are. And then this one, Rosalie says, I sing better in Spanish than I do English, and I can't even speak Spanish. And you know what? I get you. I feel you. So look, however you're tuning in, we appreciate you. No truth to the rumor. I guess they had a competition of sorts in the world of rhetoric. If you're just tuning in, I kept away from it for the majority of time, but I've got stuff I want to say that I probably should not even say on the air. So if you want to join me virtually, Jesse, you could come along as well. But I'm going to talk on my virtual second hour feed, which I've been doing each and every day right here after the morning show. And we don't broadcast on the air, so I get really raw, really mean, and really green. If you understand what I'm saying, I get a little like Oscar the Grouch. No, I don't. I actually try to put out positivity out there along with some of the craziness that's out there. So if you watch any of the second hour programs, let me know in social media right now how you feel about those, because I know some of you stay with me during the radio broadcast, and then you stay with me beyond the radio broadcast where it's just you and I on Facebook. So if you are tuning in via the radio and or the Alexa app and or our KMET 1490 AM app, it's pretty cool. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is find me on social media. Type in Aaron M. Sanchez on all social media platforms, and you'll be able to participate on this in the second hour of the show. Okay, so pretty cool. Jesse, you got any good fun news over there? What are you doing this weekend, by the way?
Let's see. This weekend I will be relaxing, finishing up some TV series and possibly starting a new one.
I like it. So I just finished The Umbrella Academy. Oh yeah.
I still need to watch that.
Second season. It took a while for me to get into it for the first 3 episodes, and then I finally got hooked into it like on the 4th episode all the way to the end. I was like, again, not for the kids in the room. Okay. It's just not, it's an adult comic booky based on a real comic book. I think Dark Horse makes it, right? The Umbrella Academy. They make a lot of those.
Yeah, it's them.
Independent comics. But look, however you're tuning in, we appreciate you. Thank you for making each and every day one to remember. I'm going to bring up again, because I think you need to participate, Jesse. Seriously, I think you should have put this in like your repertoire of things to do. The Mariachi Women's Festival, it's right there. Las Catrinas Cantan. I'm going to work on that. Trust me, by the end of next week's show, I will have that down. And you can get your tickets, stellartickets.com. Tickets are only $20 for the entire viewing party that you can have at your house. Just practice social distancing, okay? And get connected right there. I know I'm going to go ahead and do so. And I know how I'm going to spend my Saturday night all by my lonesome tonight. That's what I'm going to sing probably middle, during, and after. I think I need to It's a thing. I literally like I think it was this morning. I go, I don't have any plans for this weekend. This really is like not cool. Like I want to have plans, right? I got no plans except that. So I'm gonna definitely sign up for that. Although I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of hard when you're like alone. You don't got like somebody else to like, but that's all right. I think you and your girlfriend need to do this, Jesse. You two at least, okay? You two be happy.
I'm gonna be alone that night, so she's working tomorrow night. So
all right. Well, you know what? Call her up virtually and then say, hey, and then play it for her, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Right.
No.
Be like, I dedicate this song to you. Oh, you're welcome, Jesse. You're welcome. Trust me, Sunday will be kicking it up if you do that. All right, people. I gotta take a quick break. We gotta let other programmers be on this show. Really? All right, fine. All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Make it a great day. Whatever you do, remember, life is worth living. Live it well. All right. And for the rest of you tuning in, I appreciate you. I really do. Let's bring up your social media comments. Let me know what you're thinking over there, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And let's see. Here we go. Rosalie's the opposite. I want to be alone, not have plans. You know what? It's good in theory. It really is. It's no fun after you actually have alone time. All right. Let's see. Algenia says, remember the song, You Are Not Alone, amigos. Yeah, well, it's a thing. All right. I'm just bitter. It's called life, right? And in reality, in past years, I used to share it with my mom. That's true. But then, I pivoted. And as of last year, I did with, what I thought was the love of my life. And so you got to understand, it's kind of like memory gone bad, meaning like, you remember where you are last year at this time. Right. Which was, it was a fun event. It really was. And was it last year or was it the year prior? I can't remember now. They all kind of morph in together. But I will say it is a fun event regardless. And you can always create new memories. Just create new ones, right? Because sometimes the old ones you just gotta let go, even though you don't want to. And so it's a thing, but go check it out. Again, I'm going to bring it up one more time because it really is a fun festival. Don't let my bitterness in life get you down. It's the Mariachi Women's Festival right there. And get your tickets, stellartickets.com. If I could play some of the music and not get banned by Facebook, YouTube, and I don't think Periscope bans any of our content when we do other music, but Facebook and YouTube do. So I can't play it for you. Otherwise I would. I would play it right here, right now, if I could. I wonder if I play it on the speakers, if it will ding me or not. We could try. I could always cut out the latter half. Should I? Let me bring up the Mariachi Divas, okay? So because I feel in order to get I hope this doesn't ding all of my videos. That's all right. I'll make a clip of each one. I don't think it'll hurt. Let me bring up the Mariachi Divas. I will bring up yeah, sure, why not? Let's bring up this one. Speaking of Cindy Shay, right? There's a mix here. I mean, you could do it too, and I think when you do, you feel a little bit differently in life, right? Let me bring one up. Hold on, I'm going to bring up the audio on a different device. Let me see if I could do this without messing everything up. And let's participate in a little Mariachi Divas, okay? Because I feel like we need this in our lives. This probably has an ad. Yep, it has an ad. I don't want the ad. Hold on. Let me get past the ad. Let me mute it and then do that. But you know what? Because I like the whole ability to be able to participate virtually, right? And that's kind of the cool thing that we get to do with Zoom, right? Or other devices. Maybe you have Facebook. Facebook has a really cool chat room feature, which you could technically participate in, not even have to pay for. I haven't tried it out. Maybe you have. But let's see. Here we go. Oh, I don't know if I want that one. That one's going to bring up old memories. Let's bring up a good one here. Let's see. No. No. God, no. It's a love language. It really is. And when you hear the love language playing in the love language, unless you got a new love in your life and it reminds you of the old love, you're kind of like, that's me right now. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's scroll down. These are all love. All right, you know what? I'm gonna relegate my own feelings here for a minute and just you know what? Do this, okay? No matter what happens in life, remember there's always something bright on the horizon. You may not know what it is, but it's something, right? So let me just play Mariachi Divas, Sabor a Mi, which I love this song. I really do. But it's just one of those things. So let me see if it brings up without any fanfare here. Let's see here. Audio. Oh, it doesn't let me. Oh, and I know why. Because I'm doing this thing. So I guess I could bring it up on my phone, right? And see if it brings it up. Because I feel like you guys need to participate in the funness of this all. And if you haven't, you really need to. You really do. I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, just YouTube it, Aaron. Seriously. All right. Mariachi Divas. Is it this one? No, not this one. Let me scroll down. Nope. There it is. Bring it up. Oh, that's an ad. We don't need to pay for ads. All right. Hopefully I have a feeling it's going to ding my show. So repost, reshare, and get the word out. All right. Let's see. Rosalie is saying one of my favorites, Tu Solo Tu. Maybe I should bring that one up. I'll bring that one up after this one. Okay. Just to give you an idea. And it just doesn't do it justice. I really wish I could bring it up on my device here. This is the Mariachi Divas. You understand? Let me bring up the graphic really quick.
Tanto tiempo disfrutamos de ese amor, nuestras almas se acercaron, tanto así que yo guardo tu sabor, como tú llevas también sabor a mí. Si negarás mi presencia en tu vida, bastaría con abrazarte y conversar. Tanta vida yo te di que por fuerza llevas ya sabor a mí. No pretendo ser tu dueña, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad de mi vida. Doy lo bueno, soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar. Pasarán más de 1000 años y muchos más. Yo no sé si tenga amor la eternidad, pero ella tal como aquí, en la boca llevas ya sabor a mí. No pretendo ser tu dueña, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad de mi vida. Doy lo bueno, soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar. Pasarán más de 1000 años y muchos más. Yo no sé si tenga amor la eternidad, pero ella tal como aquí, en la boca llevas ya sabor a mí. 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 Siempre me vas bien dentro de ti. Sabor a mí. Quiero tenerte muy cerca, tenerte en mis brazos. Tú llevas también. Sabor a mí. Nuestras sabes desde sabor a mí. Y ya nunca se ha apartado. Sabor a mí. Tanto tiempo disfrutamos de este amor. Que yo guardo tu sabor como tú llevas también. Sabor a mí. Nuestras almas se acercaron. Sabor a mí. Y ya nunca se apartaron. Sabor a mí. Sabor a mí.
That's right. That's Mariachi Divas, the Cindy Shay. I'm telling you, I'm. Why would you not want to get your tickets? It's $20 to watch the live viewing of these amazing artists, right? And look, for those of you just kind of wondering, should you do it? I can tell you right now, go and do it. Just pay the $20. You know, make it a family fair at home. Bring out the margaritas, the tequila, right? Bring in a little wine, make it a family fest, get it some cheese, some nice little specialty, whatever you want, right? Make it a fun event. Let's see. There's one. Let's see. Somebody put in a request there. I don't know if it's going to get me like all teary-eyed here. I haven't heard. I don't know if I do solo two. Let's see here. Let's see. I got to type in to solo two. All right, let's see. Hopefully it's of these, not. Let's see. That's Linda Ronstadt version. Oh, here it is. Yep. Here it is. Okay, you guys ready? This is Tu Solo Tu. I think that's you alone. You do right. Does anybody want the because that be me. Me solo. Me. Here we go. Let's see. No, that's an ad. We don't want to hear ads. Get rid of the ads. If you're just joining us, by the way, we had the Mariachi Divas founder, not here, but we talked about it because she's going to be along with the Mariachi Divas on a particular show happening tomorrow. All right, so if you catch this, you only you. Oh well, me only me by myself. I like it like that. All right. Let's see. Okay, less about me, more about you guys. Check it out. Check this out. I'm going to bring up the graphic again. Again, spread it far and wide.
Me he despertado con mucha tristeza, sabiendo que mañana ya te vas de mí. Te juro mi vida que pensando en lo nuestro me pasé la noche casi sin dormir. Ya lo sé que tú te vas, que quizás no volverás. Es muy triste estoy será. Mis mañanas si te vas, ¿hasta cuándo volverás? A mis brazos no lo sé. Será una eternidad que te voy a perder. Ya lo sé, mi amor. Que te vas, te Adiós, amor. Ya no sé, mi amor, que te vas, te vas. Mi vida de decirnos adiós, de decir buena suerte, hasta nunca, mi amor. Adiós, amor. Adiós, amor. Adiós, amor. Adiós, amor. Adiós, amor. Adiós, amor. Adiós,
Okay, I just found out that was the wrong one to play, but evidently the right one as well, because I think I just got some of the words of that. And, I think it's appropriate. So there you go. That was Yalo sé que tú te vas. So I got the wrong one. Apologize for that. I see Tu Solo Tu. That's by Selena. I get that one. Okay. Which I think, yeah, I'm not sure that they did that one actually, or maybe they did. Let's see, Ana Gabriel, and there's Selena again playing that. So yeah, no, which I'm trying to keep it in the same category. Let me bring up Mariachi Reina. Okay, let me bring them up because they're going to be performing, and I really wish I had the content to show you these just amazing ladies. I really do. But here is, yeah, here's one. This is Mariachi Reina. I think I got the right one. Yep, here it is. I'm gonna play this for you. Okay, this is Mariachi Reina. Check this one out. Again, get your tickets. Seriously, I'm gonna participate with or without you, but I hope we get to do it together. It'd be really fun, right? All right, here we go.
demasiada herida por tu culpa, amigo. Yo he quedado demasiado herida que volver a verte ni pensarlo. Pobre del que venga y pretenda ahora manejar mi vida, quiera encometerse intentando amarme con una mentira. Demasiado herida, yo casi parezco un gorrión sin alas, como si yo fuera menos granada, como una gaviota que perdió su playa. Demasiado herida para estar inconsciente de lo que me pasa, para estar vida aquí terminó. Demasiado herida. Demasiado herida para que me pidas empezar de nuevo. Pagarás la culpa, quiera Dios, que jamás te ocurra. Demasiado herida, abre bien los ojos, es la despedida. Y al cerrar la puerta, debes olvidarme por toda la vida. Demasiado herida, ya casi parezco un gorrión sin alas, como si yo fuera menos granada, como una gaviota que perdió su playa. Demasiado herida para estar inconsciente de lo que me pasa, por estar planeando lo que haré mañana, si tal vez mi vida aquí terminó. Demasiado herida.
And if you're just joining us, that was Mariachi Reina in Los Angeles. Yes, that's right. You can go get your tickets. It's stellartickets.com. That's where you can find it. And Las Catrinas Cantan. Yeah, so very, very, do you understand the feeling of the emotions that you can't help but drum up? It's a beautiful, beautiful melody. You don't even have to understand Spanish in order to just feel the emotion there, right? All right, I'm going to bring up another one. Okay, and these ones perform in London. So when they talk, they've got the very British accent, by the way. Like super, I mean, we all have an accent technically. You're not the only ones. Let's see. Los Arelitas. I think that's yeah, in London. Oh man, it's just amazing. I think that's the one. That's mariachi. No, that's not it. Is that it? No, that's a bunch of men. Hold on. Adelitas. Put it in London. And if you're just joining us, this is technically our second hour of where I like say stuff, but I feel it'd be better that we play some of the music. I think this is one. Let's play this one. All right, but I don't want to get dinged by the Facebook police. So if I get dinged, forgive me. I will repost the other clip by itself. But it's just you and me, right? And I think like us spending some time together with some good music, and go get the tickets. It's right here. Let me bring it back up. Stellartickets.com is where you get it. Tickets are only $20, and you get to participate with your friends and family. I say, why not? Like, do a little Zoom party. Why not? And then participate. Listen to this music, okay? Las Catrinas Cantan. This one, Mariachi, Las Adelitas in London. It's pretty cool too, by the way. Like, I'm not sure if this is the music or just them talking. Oh, never mind. It's like a B-roll. Never mind. Okay, that was anticlimactic. I apologize for that one. I thought for sure it would have come up. Let's see here. This is a show reel. No, I want to hear them live. Okay, well, you know what? I don't have them on. Oh, here's one. Yeah, but I feel like it's outside. That never has the right feeling. It's got to be done correctly. All right. So there you go. But you can check them out. Again, stellartickets.com is where it's at. Go get your tickets. I don't know if I can recommend it any sooner. And it goes to a great organization. Seriously. Let me give you some 411 on this, okay? This is what Dr. Leonor Sochi Perez said in the press release, which I got just yesterday. It says, I'm thrilled to bring back the sound and tradition of mariachi music, especially in celebration of Dia de los Muertos. Of course, she's the founder of the International Mariachi Women's Festival and executive director of the Mariachi Women's Foundation, which, by the way, is a pretty cool foundation. She talks about it. It's amazing. She said this, quote, with the challenges posed by this pandemic, I applaud these amazing mariachi women rising above and working with us to pivot into a virtual format. We aim to build a beautiful celebration online and invite guests to join the festival in empowering mariachi women as they keep our beautiful mariachi tradition alive and share it with the world. And then, of course, tickets can be purchased there, and we gave the information there. It's presented by the Mariachi Women's Foundation, a nonprofit organization that recognizes and empowers mariachi women throughout the world. And I'm telling you, they do it all around the world. I mean, come on, who thought mariachis were in Europe? Seriously, I didn't know that. And in Japan, no less. Founded and directed by Dr. Perez, the organization proudly launched the world's first annual International Mariachi Women's Festival in 2014. That was it. So I think I got introduced to them then a year later. Then it's been quite some time. They're amazing, seriously amazing. And with that, I'm going to end the show a little bit early because there's nothing more I really need to say except this: whatever you do it well, and do it with the family you love. Do it while you have them in your life. Sometimes people are in your life for, what do they say? What's that saying? I don't like that saying. I think it's terrible. But sometimes people just come and go, right? And sometimes what you thought was your forever or is no longer your forever. They're just they're a memory. Sad, but true. And so you wish them well. You wish them happiness in the life that they find what they're looking for. And you have to figure out what you're looking for, especially when it happens so last minute. You're like, I didn't even have time to unwind that. I thought we were happy. But sometimes people, and I know I'm not alone. I know there's quite a few relationships out there which have ended suddenly, admittedly so, or that's just life, right? You don't even need coronavirus, although I think coronavirus is really taking people up a notch. Yeah, and then more angry, more mad, more upset, more like, what is going on, right? So if that's happening in your family, I say watch out. You got to see the warning signs, whatever the warning signs are, and try to head it off if at all possible. And if it's not possible, well, sometimes you just have to say adieu, right? You have to say, I wish you well. I don't wish a bad in the world. I hope that you stay safe over there, but stay safe. Stay safe, people. At the end of the day, that's my only message. Stay safe. No matter what life throws at you, don't throw caution to the wind. Take care of those that you love, for it may be their last day, maybe your last day, maybe all of our last days. No, I'm just kidding. But the reality is sometimes we have to live our life in such a way that it is a day that is not promised. Does that make sense? So be present. Be present in the moment that you're in. Be present with the people that are in your life. Be present. Love them, even if it's from afar. Nobody ever wants to wish evil on somebody that, just suddenly says, I'm moving on without you. Okay, well, all right. Well, then that's your prerogative, right? You can't force them to stay. You can't beg them to stay. I always say, don't beg. Don't ever beg. Can you request them to stay? I think you should, in the event that there is more than meets the eye, if that's there. But sometimes you just have to say, okay, right? Sometimes you can't fight it. If you beg somebody to stay, well, then if they stay, then are they staying because you begged them, or are they staying because they want to stay? That's different. If they want to stay, now that means like, oh, you're in it to win it, right? And I get it. Sometimes people break up to make up. That happens, right? In life, that certainly happens. I'm never the person, especially if you have a family, and never the person to say, hey, stay away from that person forever if you have a family together, unless of course they're causing a lot of harm to the family, like, but that's different for every family. But as long as that's not happening, if you have a love of your life and they're willing to spend a little time with you, then take them up on it. Seriously, this is not the time to look. I've seen so many people rekindle romances. I've seen people reach out to ones that they love. I've seen people say, "Hey, how are you doing?" I just say, "Don't break up a family." In the process of it, right? If you're in a single situation, that's different, right? No judgment there, but don't be the one to go and reach out to an old flame, so to speak, especially if you're in a committed relationship, right? Whether it be you both say I do, or you say I do never. Nobody ever says that, right? Everybody says I do, and then they say sign on the dotted line, I divorce you, right? So that's a thing out there. Don't look, before you throw caution in the wind. I remember talking to one woman who actually was sharing some really sad situation that happened between her and her boyfriend, right? And unfortunately, all of a sudden she was pregnant. I talked about this a while back, but I feel like somebody needs to hear it. And so he overreacted, evidently, and he was like, "That's it, you got to move out." I mean, the story continues, by the way. Within a few days, he figured out what was wrong with him. That's what he said. He admitted to the lady, and I said, "Well, good thing you figured that out." She goes, "Yeah, but now I have a hard time. I don't respect him anymore." I said, "Well, that's going to be difficult." But you know what? Sometimes people in this what I call coronavirus mentality, people are kind of wearing a short. I'll call it a short something. I don't even know what to call it. Like a short leash on their emotions. You understand that? Like, whereas they would be more forgiving. Now they're not. You get it? Like maybe they need to have a short leash on their emotions. I don't know. Which is it? What do you think it is? Do you think they should have a short leash on their emotions, or they should let it run wild? Oh, there it is. That's the one. Let it run wild. Yeah, just let it run wild. Just whatever happens. I don't care if it bites somebody, right? In the back. Because that's happened, right? Don't do that. Maybe you need to keep a short leash on that emotional core of yours, right? Because sometimes people can overreact and at a moment's notice. I've seen that happen with 3 people that I happen to know, and admittedly, so I think they all will end up regretting their decisions because they're like, "What happened in my head?" Kind of like that guy in that woman's life. Thankfully, he came back because they already had a child together. That's even worse. I didn't even mention that part. Already had a child together, and the moment she's like, "I'm pregnant," what? We can't have this now. This is not the time. Why are you wait? And he wanted, unfortunately, her to abort the baby, which she's like, "Forget that." It got really bad before, and I hope it's gotten better since. I haven't checked up on that family, but I did wish her, a lot of good. Because the reality is this. Look, I always want people, if at all possible, unless there are certain things I say, whoa, don't take that person back. If they're toxic, if they're backbiters, if they're abusive in the relationship, ooh, that one right there. That I always say, walk away. Just get out of that. Don't believe that. It happens once, it happens twice, it happens 3 times. Way too nice you are to accept beyond one. And some out there have accepted more than one, right? Oh, he'll change, or they keep quiet and nobody knows, right? They suffer in silence. Don't be that person, okay? And if you're a male, and look, the chances are you're not a male being abused by a lady, but I've heard it happen. But the numbers far outweigh. It's usually the man abusing the women in the relationship, okay? But my point is this, put it into perspective. If that hasn't happened and it doesn't get worse, nobody's selling drugs over there, making their kids sell drugs. You don't got that, you're good. If you're not, somebody to molest one of the other members, when they were young, then you stay away from that, right? Correct. I would hope so. But you stay away from that. You draw close to those you love, right? And or those that are good, and or those that are faithful, and or those that are always got your back no matter what. So my point is this: if you're not the aforementioned, which I think 98.8% of you are like, right? No, who would be with that kind of person? But my point is this: in reality, sometimes you gotta just say, all right, it didn't work out, right? With what you could have thought they were the love of your life. You could have thought that they are going to be the love of your life. And I say, you know what? More goodness in the present moment that you have. Don't ever be so bitter in life that you say, I'm not willing to move myself forward, right? Sometimes people get stuck. They get stuck in the moment that they're in because they constantly dwell on the past, right? You can't be that person. Don't dwell on the past so much so that you say, oh, okay, I'll accept everything that just happened, and quite willingly so. But you may love from afar and say, you know what? Because I see so many people right now that are looking forward in time and they're wanting to move forward. Some admittedly so don't want to because they have a family together, right? And so they want to go back and see if maybe they can work it out. I've heard of a lot of relationships doing that, to which I applaud them if they can make it work. I've heard of a lot of relationships that have done that, where one member has forgiven the other, and I'm never opposed to that as long as there's no there's certain I have a certain tolerance for that. If the person goes and cheats on you, then it's, to me, don't let the door hit you, right? But that's me, right? That wasn't always me though. I remember I took one girlfriend back and she cheated on me, admittedly so, with a married man, and I was like, oh no, how could you just but and then fast forward, then I was the one to do that with somebody else. So like I said, I'm the last one to say I'm perfect. I really am. So oftentimes I go, well, did I deserve that in the end? I mean, I haven't always been a perfect individual, right? We've all sinned. Some of us sin more than others. Some of us sin. We don't even tell anybody. I'm so raw and open with everybody. That way, I'm the last one to judge. You understand? So I'm like, hey, you know what? There's a certain series of things that I just say, don't do that. But we've all made mistakes. I'm the first one to admit that. And if I'm willing to admit that, shouldn't you be willing to admit that? Sometimes we sometimes don't admit weaknesses in ourselves. And I say the first step to progressing in life is by admitting the fault in yourself and then saying, admittedly so, I will never go back to that ever again. That's just, there's so much wrong in that, right? And sometimes some people go, well, I have to experience it to know it. To which I say, look at the smart people around you, ask them for advice and find out if they did it and how it went for them. Yeah, but I'm different. And then you find out it goes the same way and you're like, oh, that was dumb. Now you have your own advice, hopefully to live by and hopefully to give to someone in the event that you see them going a certain path, right? I spoke yesterday on the show about if you go down a certain path and if you had the ability to find out where that path was going to lead you, would you still walk the same path? Or would you suddenly say, I'm not going to go down that road? I know I have in the past of life made certain decisions, admittedly so, to go left, not right, because I saw where that path was going. I said, oh, that's a whole lot of harm, right? Maybe it's a person you're interested in, maybe it's a person that you want to be in a relationship in, maybe it's just, I'm a very analytical guy, so I kind of like piece the pieces kind of together before the emotional part takes over, because then the emotional part takes over. Now you're in it to win it, right? No matter what. To which I say sometimes there are certain paths that you cannot change, but those that you can, I always see somebody saying in social media, look out for the red flag, right? I recently spoke to another friend who says, well, didn't you see the red flags throughout life? And I said, well, I did a couple of them, but I thought they could be worked out, which I think sometimes look, we all have red flags. We all have red flags. If you've been alive long enough, and I say, take an average person of 35 and above, okay? At 35 and above, we all have red flags. We really do. we have red flags in ourselves, right? We don't want to admit the red flags, like, but that was me when, not now, right? But we all have red flags. There's a song called White Flag. This is no relation, but red flag, right? Think of red flag. What are the red flags in you that you'd like to root out, right? Say, no, I've changed. I've become a better person. Admittedly so. I haven't done that red flag in at least 3 weeks. You see, that's still a red flag, right? So, but if you can take 3 of your red flags in yourself and say, you know what? In order for me to move forward in life, I don't want these red flags marring a future person who I may eventually love in the future, right? So let me identify what those 3 red flags are, and let me work on them each and every day and or throughout life, right? I've rooted out a lot of red flags that I had 18 years ago, okay? And I had some major red flags. I would have said, whoa, watch out for that guy, right? I'd wear my feelings on my sleeve. I'd feel like I just overreacted, never to hurt someone, God forbid. But always like, a little too angry, right? Shout out the top of my lungs, right? I'm going to admit to that. But is that the person I wanted to be growing up? No. Was that what I was used to growing up? Yes. And did I adopt a lot of that early on? Yeah. 18 and up. I think I had to root that out by the age of 28, to be honest, to really have a serious look and say, what went on in my head all that time? Like, that's not me, is it? Is it? I don't know. And then sometimes things kind of challenge us, and then all of a sudden we revert back to that mentality. Something happened yesterday. I said, that's not me. Where did that come from? Right? I just got mad about a situation, and suddenly I felt a surge of anger, but I had to squash it down. I had to squash it down because I didn't want anybody around me to experience the old Aaron, right? Sometimes we become so bitter in life, we get so mad, we get so angry that suddenly all the things push us beyond our normal composure levels. And all of a sudden we lash out, right? And we go, whoa, 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 whoa. And there's a certain amount of awareness. I keep talking about subconscious mind and foreground mind. You have to take ownership of yourself and say, whoa, 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 let's be kind for a minute, okay? Let's be kind. It's not that bad. It's not that unusual for somebody not to want to listen. That's kind of normal. But why do you get fury in your heart, right? So each and every relationship out there right here, right now, I am going to say to you, be aware of that because it can suddenly creep up on you without even you realizing it. Anybody that says, oh, I'm doing great. I've checked up on 5 different people. Say, how are you doing? Doing great. One, admittedly so, says, I'm having a hard time. I said, okay, well, just know you got a friend, right? But some people don't want to admit it. They just like live in and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm one of them. Sometimes and now I have to look at myself and go, but are you really fine? Or you just don't want to talk about it right now? To which somebody did ask me, how are you doing? And I said, doing good. Doing good. But I knew in my heart, I was like, I'm having a moment. But it will pass. You got to let these things wither away. And what I mean by wither away is, and I'm the first one to admit this, I when I share these things, I share my own personal story in order that somebody else can understand where the personal story finds the same, what's the word I'm looking for? Common ground. You and I are common ground people, right? I'm not above you. You're not above me. We're both equal. Sure, you might have more money than me, but that doesn't mean anything, right? At the end of the day, we're all human and we all experience life differently. There are a certain set of circumstances that will cause a series of emotions to, well, let's put it this way. If you allow certain feelings to subside and then address the situation once again, you will come at it in a better way. Sometimes there are trying circumstances that in the moment of it, you have 5 different things all happening. All of a sudden, all these 5 different things are happening all for bad. And you're like, I'm just trying to get a handle on it. You see that right there? That frustration. And that's reliving 5 different situations that happened as of yesterday, all not going good. But my point is this: sometimes you have to take a step back in order to take 5 steps forward. I know everybody says, no, let's take you. Why do you go always 2 steps forward? Because sometimes you have to step back. Sometimes you have to say, okay, let me step away from the situation. Let me go back. Let me bring up the reality of where we are. Let me turn off my emotional core just for a few hot minutes. Breathe in and breathe out. Seriously, do this once a day. When you feel pressed down and you want to, like, just say, okay, can't control that. Can't control that. Can't control that. Can't control that. That one, just give them time. Okay, done. And then realize that those things, the emotions that you're feeling, really have no merit at the end of the day. Right? 5 of those situations were other people, not me. I was just getting frustrated because they weren't listening. Right? All right, it's okay. It's all right. You give advice, it's up to them to take it. It's not up to me. You have to let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. That way you can be a normal functioning person. But it's difficult, admittedly so, if you have a family who you're always around and they're always frustrating. Well, they're right there. That is a wrong mentality to have. I used to tell a good family friend, you always relegate it to other people. I want you to realize whenever you say something, you always say, I got mad because he. I got mad because she. They made me mad because. I got upset because they. I am upset because he. I only did that because you told me to do. No, I never told you to do that, but okay. No, you did. You told me I told you something different, but you took it as a completely different thing. Oh, that's not what you meant? No, that's not what I meant. Oh. So, if you can learn one thing at the end of this broadcast, it's this, okay? Instead of relegating your emotions to be contingent on what somebody else suddenly makes you feel, revert it and say this instead. I realize I let that person have a bit of influence on the way I feel. However, I have ownership over how I feel right here, right now. And I can cause myself to feel differently. Well, it doesn't happen that quick, right? It takes practice, by the way. And that's what I had to learn way back when. And I'm having to relearn again. So I'm going to share this with you right now. When you realize you have more power in your human body and or mind to take and relegate yourself into a calm state, you will realize that it's not up to other people that are making you feel a certain way. It's up to you to allow yourself to feel that way due to the fact that you're excusing yourself and your behavior based on what you feel is right at the time, when in reality, more often than not, it is not. Just take a moment to think about what I just said. Sometimes we relegate ourselves away from people in order to find ourselves again. Sometimes we step back in order to move forward 5 steps. For some of you, you walk away. For others of you, you just need quiet time alone. For others, it may be just a walk in the sunshine. Some jog, some run, some punch bag, some do whatever they need to do to get to the moment of calm and say, okay, all right, can't, okay, done. But make sure that at the end of it, you don't want to strike out at somebody. You don't want to lash out at somebody with your hurtful words, mean thoughts. Because if you do that, well, now you're gonna take 20 steps back in life. Why did I overreact? Right? Don't be the one that overreacts, right? Instead, be the person that says that you're the person that people turn to when there's a hurricane. And there's a hurricane coming, people. I'm telling you right now. The hurricane's already here. Okay. Coronavirus is here, alive and well. And people are frustrated, they're mad, they're sad, they're upset, they're angry. Many are losing money. I could name 5 things right now that will make you feel upset, but I don't want to, because I want to be the voice of reason. No matter all those things that may pile up, all of a sudden, you still have control of you. There are some people say, I have no control of myself. That's called lack of self-control. If you have the opposite, you have control of yourself by at least understanding that in reality, who's moving your hand? Is it you or is it something else? Well, I'm moving my hand, am I not? I'm moving it forward. I'm moving it back. I'm moving it forward. I'm moving it back, right? Get yourself under control. Have self-control over yourself. And if you can have self-control over yourself, then you're ahead of the game. The problem is certain people, including myself, like to exert self-control on other people, saying, you need to have self-control. Seriously, right? Meaning, I see that coming a mile away. If you just took control of yourself, you'd be so much ahead of the game. But what I've realized is you cannot tell people that. You have to show them. This is how I do it, and I hope you can do that yourself as well. So for a moment, I want you to think not inside your body, but I want you to think outside your body, okay? And what I mean by that is this. I want you to take somebody in your mind right now, close your eyes, or keep them open, whichever. It works better if you close your eyes, though. Just seriously. Take a moment, breathe in really deep. One more time. Breathe in. Keep doing that a couple more times, okay? And I want you to, in your thoughts, visualize the person who you truly admire in your life. Now, if you visualize them in your mind, hold on to that. Now, I want you to see yourself good. Some have a hard time with this, but if you need to just think of you sitting in a car, okay? Now, all you need to do is this. Take a moment. Good. Now open your eyes. And I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to be admittedly so honest about it. You don't have to write it out. You don't even need to type it out. But ask yourself this question. How does the person whom I admire most, how would they characterize me? And then be honest about it. Sometimes we beat ourselves up so much. But in reality, usually the person we respect most, we respect them for a reason. They find something in you that they really like and or love. That you don't give yourself enough credit for. Sometimes we forget to look at ourselves from somebody else's viewpoint who admires us. If you found it hard to figure out somebody else in your life that you admire and or respect, then do it in this way. Are you ready? Now close your eyes. Hopefully this time you do it. Makes more sense when you do it. And I want you to visualize somebody that you love very much. Got it? Now I want you to see yourself once again, but this time I want you to see yourself sitting in a park. Good. Now I want you to simply now open your eyes. Everybody's experience is different when you do that exercise. But at the end of it, how do you feel? I know some are going, what just happened? I don't understand what just happened. Well, okay, here, let me break it down for you. The first exercise was somebody you respect and you admire. But sometimes the people that you respect and you admire are not the people that you love. Sometimes they're one and the same, but oftentimes they're completely different. True or true? Did you choose two different people in your sphere of influence, or were they the exact same person? Feel free to answer if you did that exercise all the way through. And if you didn't, that's okay. Oddly enough, in somebody else's life, you are the person that they either respect and or love and or both. True. You may not even know it. You may not even realize it. You may not even appreciate that you are that person for somebody else. And if you need reminding about that, Well, here's the thing. If you make somebody feel good about themselves, if you help somebody out in their life to make them want to move forward, not back, if you are that person of positivity and you're that person of kindness, of love, and you're that person who truly cares about somebody else, they already admire you. But sometimes admiring somebody and respecting somebody are two completely different things. Some people respect people they don't even like because they respect them, that they stand up for what they believe in. Wish I could be like him or her. That's respect. But love takes a different thing and a different emotion depending on who you are. Love is not a one size fits all. Love is a very broad term for several feelings. Now, for some of you admittedly so, may have visualized a man, a woman, and or a child. Because love takes on different meanings for you. Maybe it's a parent. Maybe it's an aunt. Maybe it's an uncle. Maybe it's a niece. Maybe it's a nephew. Maybe it's an adopted. Whoever that person is in your life, you can affect change for them and they are affecting change in you. The fact that you are able to visualize two different sets of people says that you are already moving forward in life. The fact that you have two special people in your life, one that you respect and or admire and or the other one that you truly love. Well then, go and give them a call right now. Say, you know what? I know you never really knew this about me, but I really respect you. I just needed you to know that. Do that. See what the conversation comes back as. Okay? All right, people. I'm out of time. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. I will see you next week on the morning show. Make it a great day. And remember, if anything, sometimes you got to take a step back in order to move forward. It's okay. Take the time for you so that you can be good for someone else. Bye-bye, everybody.